Okay, the greatest privilege I think that exists in the world is having parents who believe in you.
I think the greatest gift that my parents gave me is they exposed me to good mental hygiene. Like, so much of how our life outcomes progress is purely psychological. I'm 100% convinced of that. My dad and I started listening to audiobooks, and we listened to Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. We listened to Maxwell Maltz's Psycho-Cybernetics. We listened to this lecture series on like neurolinguistic programming. We listened to all of this stuff, and my dad had been reading all of this, and he just had a conviction that this was going to be important for me to absorb. And I just picked up all of these habits around good mental hygiene. Like, and it's little stuff. So like, if we're talking about something and I can't remember what I was going to say, it's like, oh, I was going to tell you, like, what's this guy's name that we talked to him like 6 months ago, we were at this party. Instead of being like, I can't remember, which is very defeatist, I'll say, I don't remember yet, but when I do, I'll tell you. Or like, I'll remember this in a little bit, I'll remember it later. And I always remember. And it's because I'm cueing my brain to keep working on it instead of dismissing it. And that's like a really simple thing. But whenever I can't solve a problem or I can't figure something out, it's always like, I don't know yet. It's not a finite state of existence. It's not like I don't know or I can't do this. It's, I'm still figuring this out. I'm still working on it. And it's like an infinity of little things like that I just picked up when I was 11, 12 years old. And a lot of what this stuff also talks about is how you talk about yourself, your internal dialogue. So
Self-conscious.
So I learned, like, I'm not self-deprecating ever. Sometimes I will make self-deprecating jokes because I actually legitimately find them funny, and I'm working on cutting those because I think even that is like too much. I learned how to have all of this positive self-talk. I was not self-deprecating. I don't trash talk myself. I don't speak badly about myself. I won't even use detrimental language jokingly, and like, I won't refer to myself as a bitch even like as a joke. I don't know. I think some of it's nature, but I think some of it's also like my own nurture.
No, I think it's nurture 100%.
And
well, nature because your parents played the books that then caused the nurture. Yeah.
Like my own self-nurturing of myself. Like I don't use language like that.
Yeah.
I won't talk to myself like, you know, if I mess something up. It's so common for people to get the internal dialogue of like, oh, I'm a failure. Like, I messed this up. I never get anything right. Like, that feels like poison to me. Like, it's so hardwired. I will not go there. It's so important.
It's so important.
I'm entirely convinced that most of the good things that have happened in my life have been because I've been really consistent about this. And it's not consistent in a like hustle porn, like, you know, I have this like habit of every morning I get up and I do this thing. It's just, I saw that this is how the world worked. I believed it. Like, I got some data. I was like, this is interesting. I'm going to integrate this information. And then I just was like honest with myself when I'd feel like I wanted to be self-deprecating, because, you know, like every woman goes through stages of, oh, I don't feel beautiful enough, or like, oh, like none of these clothes like fit me the way they fit the models, or like, you know, why won't my face do what I want it to do, or whatever. Even then, I let it come from a place of like genuine, I was upset about it, but it wasn't like, oh, you're so ugly. Or like, oh, why can't you just get it together? Like, oh, why can't you just like lose the 5 pounds, and like, because you're so fat or whatever. Like, I would never do it because I knew better. And so it just became ingrained habit again and again and again and again. Like, every time I would re-access it, like every time something would come up where the temptation might be there to look in the mirror and go, I look fat. I've never said that to myself when I look in the mirror. I'll be like, oh, like I've maybe like gained a little bit of weight, or like, oh, like these muscles aren't as toned as they were at this point. Like, I'll be honest about that, but I won't use terms that feel emotionally loaded. I won't say I look fat. I've never once said that about myself. And I won't even like poke someone else being like, oh, like I look kind of fat, hoping for somebody to, you know,
you're not fat.
Exactly. I won't even do that because I know that that's toxic and it's eroding my mental clarity. And that mental clarity, that sharpness, that zen that you get when you're in a meditative state, or like when you're meditating consistently, you get the same kind of zen from doing this. And I feel so strongly like that so many of the good things that have happened to me have been because I've been in this mental state, because I've been working at this since I was 11 years old.